Hey everyone, your boy Jizzy Joe Biden is back at it again with the hijacking of this episode since my counterpart is a complete moron.
Well, thank God for that, Donald. We might actually have a proper battle here without losing any Pokémon in this episode for once.
Yeah, boy, have I been looking forward to seeing Jizzy Joe Biden back in the series, and perfect timing too because we're in the championships now.
Yeah, so please remember to subscribe and like the video if you want to help support our work, and consider becoming a member on Patreon and YouTube if you like too.
Alrighty, looks like we're already battling the main rival of this game, being Hop. And I didn't expect to battle him so soon either, guys.
Yeah, Hop, who's the most pointless and dumb rival we have in the entire game, Jizzy Joe. So do the usual and crush this peasant.
Yeah, I will, Donald. And I checked the team before we started, and it finally seems you guys managed to evolve the entire party up to their final stages.
Yeah, well, Joe mostly did that, but anyway, you'll be able to utilize them to their full potential now. And don't forget you can Gigantamax if you need to.
I'd just like to say that you might all notice a slight change in our voices for this episode, which is because we're experimenting with some things.
Yeah, that's right. It's not really a big piece of news, but we know some of you with sharp hearing will be able to tell.
And with that out the way, Jizzy Joe, what's your strat gonna be for beating Hop into oblivion?
Well, Obama, my plan is to spam Dragon Dance as much as I can, and then use Dragon Darts, because with that combo, I should be able to one-shot Hop's whole team.
Yeah, solid plan, my guy. I love to see proper, useful plays like this, unlike with normal Joe, who just sit here like a Wally crying to us about what to do.
Okay, but I think you're kind of overdoing it right now, Jizzy Joe. His team is weak as hell anyway, so no need to keep using Dragon Dance like that.
Nah, like in the Scouts, Barry, you gotta be prepared for anything, and by raising my attack and speed like this, I should be prepared for any outcome.
As much as I agree with you, buddy, you gotta think about the viewers who might get bored of you using the same move constantly. And as you said, this guy is weak as hell anyway.
Yeah, our boy Dragapult here is strong as hell now too, so just use one Dragon Darts or something to get this sheep thing taken care of.
Oh my God, after all that, this stupid cotton ball thing somehow survived an attack from our super overpowered dragon.
No, it didn't, Donald, bro. Remember, Dragon Darts hits twice in a row, and each one does like 50 damage points, I think, as well.
Yeah, no need to worry, Donald. Jizzy Joe has this in the bag already, and now our boy Hop has sent out a Snorlax, which is a pretty solid Pokemon, actually.
Yeah, that's all true. But we only have Dragon Darts and Phantom Force as our physical attacking moves, when having something like Dragon Rush would have been a better combination with Dragon Dance.
Okay, well, since you keep talking about dragons, Donald, how about we get our viewers to comment their favorite dragon-type Pokemon, which we can shout out in the next episode.
Good idea, Barry. And in the last episode, we asked everyone to shout out their favorite ice types, which we received a lot of comments of.
That's right, and the viewer who gets a shout out in this episode is who you're seeing on the screen right now, and whose name I have no idea how to pronounce.
It's literally sand distress, Barry, you moron. Not that difficult, and I even have sunglasses on.
Oh yeah, well anyway, this viewer chose Lapras as their favorite ice types, and we think Lapras was probably the most common ice type people commented about.
Okay, sorry, dude. I gotta interrupt you here, because what the hell is this Pokemon?
This little fella reminds me of something like a sea urchin or Donald. And it's super cute too, and a shame that I have to kill it.
Yeah, it's definitely based off a sea urchin with eyes and a bright yellow nose, which looks like a butt, if anyone noticed.
And yeah, that makes me feel super glad we didn't use that sea urchin butt Pokemon on our team, boys. Which you can thank me for, since I've basically built this team we're using.
Technically, Donald, the viewers had a lot of input on the Pokemon we used in this playthrough. You only got their shiny versions because you're an elitist.
The Pokemon in this team shine almost as bright as the gold chains I have around my neck, Obama. So I'm not going to complain about that at all.
Okay, Jizzy Joe, it seems Hop is on to his final Pokemon, and of course it's his starter. And he's gone and Gigantamaxed it too.
Yeah, Gigantamax just stalls out a battle in my view. Because if this guy was normal sized, we'd have beaten Hop already.
Damn, he has ice-type moves though, so I gotta be careful, guys. I can't let Dragapult die at this point in the battle.
Well, you used Dragon Dance so much in the beginning, Jizzy Joe, that one Dragon Darts move should be enough to kill this guy.
Yeah, and since you battled Hop with only Dragapult, Joe, you probably shouldn't use him going forward since he's completely overpowered.
Well, that's the end of that, guys. Our rival Hop has been beaten yet again with his shitty team, so maybe he should go home and reconsider his life choices.
Okay, hot damn, there's no need to go in that hard on the poor guy, Joe, even though I know we probably all agree with you.
There absolutely is a need to go in that hard on him, Obama. The guy needs to learn he's a good-for-nothing little peasant who doesn't deserve to be a Pokemon trainer.
And check out the huge crowd I've got here waiting for me too, guys. They already know I'm the champ, And my next victim is going to be Leon.
Okay, Joe, we won't be talking like that. Thanks very much. It's not like you're going to be attacking Leon himself, isn't it? And just because you're dressed like a gangster doesn't mean you are one.
Yeah, Jizzy Joe, just stick to your superior battling skills and rapping, whatever that may sound like.
And because I'm such a real G and famous, they already want to interview me before the finals begin, guys. See, I've only been in this episode for like 5 minutes and everyone loves me already.
Yeah, well, we don't have time for any of your fancy little interviews, Joe. You need to rest up and then head back out to finish the finals, which will involve battling gym leaders.
And talking of which, Pierce has just showed up probably to remind us how he almost nuked our entire team, but I still like the guy.
Ah, so this is the fellow who almost beat you in a Pokemon battle then. Is it Donald? Well, don't worry, because the professional is here now to handle people like this.
Actually, it looks like we won't be heading to the finals right now, guys. Apparently, Leon has gone to Rose Tower and is having some sort of meeting with him there.
Wow, the fool actually went and named a building after himself? What kind of self-centered, egotistical buffoon would do something like that?
Yeah, we wondered Donald, but anyway, Marnie has showed up now as well, and I guess she wants to follow us like a little sheep.
Oh, God, it's that demonic secretary again, boys. I hate it whenever she shows up like this. She would make the perfect Sith Lord, if you ask me.
Oh, and she's gone and converted some of the league staff to her little rose cult by the looks of it, Jizzy Joe. So you need to hunt them down and beat them.
Wow, and I'm even going to get some cheering, whilst I battle from Marnie and Team Yell too. Not that I'd actually need any help.
Okay, so that guy we just saw is hiding around here somewhere, Joe, and you need to try find him, I think.
Well, it doesn't help that there's also a bunch of league staff, which look exactly like the evil one, just chilling around here too. So how are we supposed to know who the evil one is?
Well, Donald, we use the age-old tactic of talking to everyone in the city until we find the right person, which you could argue might take a while. But then again, you have me, so it's all good.
That literally makes no sense at all, Joe, but yeah, sure, whatever floats your boat, I guess. Just hurry up with this so I can see this so-called Rose Tower.
Donald only wants to see the Rose Tower so he can get some inspiration for his next building. Isn't that right, Donald?
Well, either way, we have to go there anyway, Barry. So let's just find this loser who thinks joining the Rose Cult is a good idea and crush him into oblivion.
Oh, and speak of the devil, this guy staring at a wall doesn't look suspicious at all, so it must be him, Jizzy Joe. And of course, we're going to have to battle him too.
All right, so he's actually gone and sent out the Galar version of Meowth, which I never like, to be honest. It has the most horrible-looking beard I've ever seen.
At least that Meowth can actually grow a beard, Obama. I've seen more hair on the face of a teenager than I have on your face.
All right, please never say anything like that again and focus on the battle instead, bro. We have an extremely superpowered Dragapult here versus his level 40-something Pokemon.
And his second Pokemon is a Durant, boys. This little guy is from Gen 5, and I've personally never used one and never will because it's trash.
Hey, that's something we can agree on, Barry. I never liked Durant either, and it's a steel type, which is a little weird for an ant. They should have made it a ground type or something.
Its typing is fine, Joe, but the Pokemon in general is just not that great, and I doubt anyone has properly used one unless they did for a challenge or they were being forced to.
Okay, Joe, the guy has run off, so I guess you got to go find him again. I think this happened 3 times in total, so we have to basically battle a full team of 6 Pokemon here.
I can battle 10 trillion Pokemon all at once if I have to, Barry. These polygon-shaped humans have nothing on someone with the power I have within me. I feel like I'm on Super Saiyan 20 right now.
Okay, yeah, I think you're pushing it a little on your power trip, Joe, but at least you found the guy again a lot faster than the last time.
And he has a Mawile too, Donald, which is now a fairy type if I remember correctly. This thing can also mega evolve, but obviously they ditched that gimmick in this game for a worse one.
Joe, I believe something is only a gimmick if you don't use it, and everyone used Mega Evolution, so called it a gimmick isn't exactly the right word to use.
Yeah, and I prefer Mega Evolution over all the other so-called gimmicks the Pokemon Company has come out with Obama. Mega Evolution was the best because it gave weaker Pokemon the chance to be useful.
That's true, Donald, but it also made strong Pokemon so broken that they have to be banned, and I'm of course talking about our boy Mega Rayquaza. I mean, his Mega Evolution is undoubtedly the most cracked thing to exist, but was it actually necessary?
You heard it first here, everyone. Obama himself says he doesn't like Mega Rayquaza.
You demented beansprout, Joe. I never said that. My point was, which many people will agree on, is the fact that the already OP Pokemon have now become even more so.
Yeah, and so, what, Barry? We only like strong Pokemon around here. Thank you very much. All weak Pokemon don't belong in any team I use, but I would happily use a Mega Beedrill or Metagross.
You would use normal Metagross perfectly fine Donald, let alone its Mega form, which I do like a lot, by the way.
Yeah, and now you're trying to backtrack on your previous point about hating Mega Pokemon. It's fine, dude. We know how you really feel. And anyway, I've basically beaten this guy now, too.
Yep, you have Jizzy Joe. Well done. And I think that's the last time we have to deal with this doofus, at least for now. But let's see.
I feel like the whole evil villain aspect of Pokemon just dropped at this point in the game series, guys, don't you think?
Yeah, that could be true, Obama. My favorite team is Team Galactic because they all have funky hair colors, and if I had more hair, then I'd dye it blue.
Hang on before you do that, Joe. What on earth is going on here? More of those grunts have just appeared, and they're blocking our path to Rose Tower.
You said we dealt with them, Donald, so now what's all this then? Are you conspiring with Mr. Rose or something, bucko?
Why would I conspire with a CEO who walks about with shorts on and a bad haircut?
How about you take a look in a mirror and ask yourself that same question, Donald? But anyway, it looks like Pierce is holding a random gig in the middle of this train station to get them to move.
Yeah, why don't you join him, Jizzy Joe, and you can drop some mad bars in between his singing or something whilst Donald and I deal with Mr. Rose.
I just want to clarify that Pierce wasn't even singing right here. He was just mouthing some random crap and no sound was coming out.
At least when I rap, you can at least hear my bars, even if they're utter trash. But anyway, with Pierce's help, we managed to barge our way through those grunts.
Yeah, and this is the famous Rose Tower we've been talking about, so tell us, Donald, what do you think of it?
Well, Barry, I got a good look at it just now from that panorama shot, and I feel like they just ripped this building off from Kalos with Lumiose Tower, if you remember that.
Yeah, something about this place definitely has Lumiose Tower vibes for sure, but with extra blue added to it. However, this interior is absolutely gorgeous, if you ask me.
Black is best. As I always say, Jizzy Joe, and maybe you should convert your Trump Tower to look like this, Donald. I never liked Rose, but he sure has some good design sense.
Oh, holy hell, looks like we have more of these grunts to deal with now, boys. And I can't tell if this is the same fella from before, but either way, we gotta crush them all, Joe.
This will be an easy W for me, Donald, because Mr. Rhyme here is unstoppable. No wonder Leon had one on his team.
Well, I actually know the real reason why Leon was considered the strongest trainer in the world, boys. And it's such a dumb reason.
Yeah, we all know, Barry, and the obvious answer is plot armor, because there is no other reason than that.
Well, I also know the reason, Obama, and it's because Leon is constantly changing his movesets for his Pokemon. So obviously that would make him OP.
And looks like we have another double battle here, boys. And whilst this is going on, I'd like to announce that we recently opened up a merch store.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that, Barry. But yeah, as he said, we have a new merch store if you'd like to check out with only one design at the moment. But we're open to suggestions.
I think Discoml should make a Jizzy Joe design. I'd definitely get me one of those.
That's actually not a half bad idea, but let's see. Anyway, feel free to check it out, dear viewers. But for now, let's get back to this battle.
Okay, so this double battle should have been over by now, Joe, since you're basically the champion, but all I see is you getting carried by Hop's crappy sheep thing.
Right, well, first of all, that sheep is actually a ram, Obama, and secondly, the only one doing the so-called carrying is me, because I'm Jizzy Joe.
You can be a fruit and nut bar for all I care, buddy, but you're still letting that loser rival of ours do most of the work.
Just relax and take a chill pill, Donald. I got this. I'm mentally preparing myself for the battle with Leon we have coming up, which is more important than crying over this, if you ask me.
Fine, whatever, Jizzy Joe, we trust you. At least it's you and not the other one, but still these battles are so easy.
I feel like the Pokemon games should ask you what difficulty you'd like to play the game in, boys. Like the hard mode should be max the 4s and EVs on everything, like an Emerald Kaizo.
Or a death sentence mode, where you basically have a bunch of Cynthias to deal with. That would be so fun, don't you all think?
Hang on, guys. I think Oleana has turned into a literal demon now. That is one bitchy-looking face, holy hell.
Imagine waking up in the morning and seeing that just staring at you. I think I might poop my pants and then cry.
Okay, well, she's leading off with a Frostlass Donald, which is actually an awesome Pokemon.
Yeah, this is a ghost and ice-type Pokemon, but with Mr. Rhyme, I think we can take it, and it also looks like this building is a Dynamax spot, too.
I doubt I'll need to even Dynamax in this battle, though. I mean, how hard can she even be to deal with? This whole game could have been beaten with a blindfold on, if you ask me.
Well, you one-shot Frostlass Jizzy Joe, but Oleana is now calling you cheeky for hurting her so-called partner. I mean, maybe she should have used a better Pokemon instead, the dumb fool.
All right, so her next Pokemon wasn't one I was expecting, but either way, this is Salazzle from the Alola region.
How many times did this Pokemon kill your entire team in that playthrough, then Obama Elamau?
Damn, Jizzy Joe went in hard there again, but rightly so in my opinion.
Okay, from my point of view, that was kind of uncalled for, but regardless, I'm sure I died to Salazzle quite a few times, Joe.
Yeah, to the surprise of absolutely no one. But anyway, her next Pokemon is a Melodic, which is another absolutely solid Mon for sure.
Yeah, this thing has amazing defense stats, and it proved it just now by somehow surviving a super effective Thunderbolt attack.
I can't believe it took 2 of them to take this thing out, Donald, so I guess you're right about its defenses. Anyway, that's now 3 Pokemon down and out.
And our Dracovish is actually learning Fishious Ren now, Joe, which is one of the best moves it can learn, and I think only Dracovish can learn it too.
About damn time, because if you look at the moves Dracovish has had till now, most of them are so bad, it's like, why even bother using it in a battle?
Hey, look, another Pokemon to remind you of your Alola Region murder spree Barry. This is Serena, who is Russian, apparently.
For those of you who don't know, the Russians used to have a king and queen called a Tsar and a Tsarina, and apparently the queen has been turned into a Pokemon now.
Okay, thank you for your completely pointless history lesson, Professor Obama, and I can't believe Oleana has a Garbodor as her final Pokemon.
Not only that, Donald, but she's about to Gigantamax the thing, too. Imagine the stink that must come off this Pokemon when it's that big.
Hang on, there is a literal cruise ship stuck in Garbodor's body. What the hell has this thing been up to?
There's also a plane on his body too, Donald. And even with all that, Joe has managed to one-shot the thing so well done.
Okay, and Oleana wasn't a challenge for me at all, which was to be expected. I'm just too good, and my ego backs my statements up.
And her demonic-looking face won't be showing its ugly self anytime soon either, Joe. So well done for getting rid of her.
Oh, hey, look, you two. We're getting a fancy-looking cinematic thingy of Rose and Leon together. He's probably explaining his plan for the Galar region to him.
Hey, this art style is really cool, Obama. I like it a lot, and I especially like how the night sky looks with the different gradients of blue.
Yeah, we don't need an art lecture on color theory, Jizzy Joe, but I do agree this looks very neat indeed. They even made Rose look cool.
Okay, and Usual Hop went and interrupted it all, but anyway, we do have that battle with Leon to finish Joe, so get ready for that.
Well, if you were listening to what I said earlier, Barry, we first have to battle all the gym leaders again to prove we're the strongest.
Okay, well, I already did that, but I guess we don't have a choice. So on that note, how about we end this episode?
Yeah, good plan, Joe, so thank you for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and please remember to like and subscribe and consider becoming a member of the channel, too.
Yeah, we have our Discord and Patreon links in the video description, too, which we'd appreciate you checking out as well.
That's right. So in part 14, I guess either me or my demented counterpart will be battling all the gym leaders again.
And the perfect ending to this episode outside Winden Stadium. So see you all soon, everyone.